Hey everybody, Asher here. It's Free Play Friday, and this is a window you haven't seen on this channel in a while. It's Hearthstone, a game I put down for quite some time, but it's a new cycle, Year of the Raven, and Witchwood just recently came out, so I'm going to try some of this, see if I can kind of rekindle the love that I had for Hearthstone in the past, because it was a game I put a lot of time and enjoyment into, and then it just kind of burnt out. But regardless, we do have an interesting update later today with the Witchwood expansion. The Monster Hunter is coming out, so we'll do that too. In fact, you might have seen that video before. This video goes up on the YouTube channel, which is Asher Games still. But today we're just going to be playing some Standard, and I have one deck right now. If you look at my collection, I do what I always do with the season rotating, and I dusted the crap out of everything else because I always go Scorched Earth. So I'm sitting on actually 7,000 dust. I'll figure out what I want to do with that eventually over time, although I do have some good cards. I did skip some expansions from not playing, so lots to go into there. But today we're going to be doing Control Priest. And I should probably show the deck list before we get into Control Priest. It's the reason I call it I have these is that this is the deck that's probably most feature complete of all the cards I did have from when I was playing before. I only had to add Scale Worm to it, and then let's see here, Scale Worm, Duskbreaker, and Divine Hymn, which is just a nuts card. But the idea behind this is that you control, you Alex Straza. Anduin is still really powerful even though you don't have the Raza combo anymore, but it means you have a more streamlined deck. And you can possibly get some more Mind Blast with Shadow Visions or other utility with Shadow Visions, depending on the matchup. But the problem with practicing this deck last night, in Standard, and Rank 24, you can see the rankings changed here, is that it's all aggro all the time. And technically, Control Priest should be really good against the aggro that's currently out here. But let's take a look and see if I can do better today than I did last night. So hit the play game button. This is where, if I were just editing this in a video, we would actually be cutting out some of the stuff right here, but we get to watch hiccups and all. Because for as much as I played Hearthstone in the past and complained even 2 years ago about how the client is shoddy, it's all mages. All mages and paladins are what I'm facing at these ranks, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, this Twilight Drake is going to get polymorphed. Won't keep Powered Shield. We're going very aggressive for any kind of board presence to take out any sort of aggro matchup, and this is not awesome. But it doesn't suck, because we do have Scale Worm, which has Rush, and Rush is exactly like Scrolls, if you remember Scrolls from my channel really, really long time ago. It's charge, but you can only attack minions. So I'm glad they finally implemented that. It took Scrolls dying for that to happen. Good. This is not the kind of deck that I've seen in a while, so probably facing a legit player who knows what they're doing. Yeah, have a hit. Oh, the good old tried and standard priest move of passing until turn 4. It never changes. It never, ever changes. Alright. So who's our better charge target here? Problem with charging you is that you will come back even stronger. Problem with charging you is that this brings it down to possibly being able to die. So I want to coin. I'm not going to coin. I'm going to see if I can force him to use some resources. There is a chance that he does have some mage weapons. Medivh is no longer in the Standard here, but Catacombs versus Kobolds, or whatever it's called, shows you how much I know. Did introduce some class weapons for everybody, and some of them are a pain in the butt. So here we go. And what do you want to bet that's Mirror Entity? I think we have a really good chance of that. But we still got to play even though we're already behind on board. Because I have some decent AoE damage in here if I can survive to it later. And I mean, this is what I was running into before. The inability to Yep. Alright. Explosive Runes, not Mirror Entity then. That's a fun card to pretty much obliterate what you have on here, and now my board is gone. Let's see. So being able to survive all the tiny things that will potentially come out. There we go, more secrets because it's fun. This is facing Control Priest. Like I said, it does well percentage-wise over a long enough period of games versus this kind of deck. versus this kind of early aggression. But sometimes you just don't get draws. So what can I even do to survive here? This is probably it. Okay. Well, he got 2 of those in the top of his deck, so... Yeah, how about 2 mana for a better Holy Nova? 6 health to all friendly characters, so actual self-heal. Alright. Unfortunately, I'm dead, so... And that's Hearthstone in a nutshell. Sometimes you just die. So you try and take the losses as a win. But what I was running into last night was the same old creeping feeling that I had before. Yeah, at least you can't lose stars at this rate. I was having kind of the same old creeping feeling before of like, okay, I'm playing this game, and fundamentally, yeah, I'm rusty, and there's some sloppy plays that I'm making that I could do better with. By the way, it's really sad that I did not destroy a single minion that whole game. One of my quests right now is to destroy minions in, like 25 minions or something. I got 0 that game. But one of the things I ran into last night as I was practicing this deck was, man, you know, this, like, you win some, you lose some. Sometimes it just comes down to the draw. I'd kind of rather be blowing up stuff with machines. See, look. Wild Pyromancer, things we want. Mind Blast, don't really want it. We'll keep these 2 just to see if we need to do any AoE damage early. But see, my board sweeps. That's how what it boils down to a lot of times, is that you see like, oh, this deck guide says this deck has a great win rate versus this other deck. But it's like a 55% win rate is a great win rate. I mean, that's really what the numbers boil down to. And so if you have a 55% win rate and you're only playing like 4 or 5 games, you could very easily lose 4 of those games and still kind of be within your threshold. So what do we do here? I could go ahead and drop the Pyromancer, but I don't typically like to do that. So we'll just punch pass. Now see, here's our other AoE board sweep that we needed last time. Now what's going to happen this time is that we're facing... Well, if he didn't hit his ramp... Oh no. Okay. Now let's not assume that this is someone playing a basic deck. Although it might very well be, because he just dropped a Novice Engineer into a Northshire Cleric, which is a big old no-no.
What if...
And are you going to innervate something else? There's that.
Time goes short.
See, I used to play with like all these deck trackers and stuff, so I was about to say that's coin. But I used to play with all these deck trackers and stuff, but... You're really using that on that. I hope there's a good reason, because I have no better move than just to draw pass. And I can keep drawing my deck, except I'll probably play the Twilight Drake next turn, probably. But this is a control deck, so we just try and play it slow, and right now he hasn't played too much either. So there's 1 ramp early, which suddenly makes Twilight Drake more appealing, because chances are it's Druid of the Claw time. Oh yeah, Innervate's only 1 mana now! Oh, it's been that long that change happened. That change happened so long ago, man. Ah. It's literally counterfeit coin. So... this is your plan. Okay. Well, fortunately I got the cards I needed. But let's look at that for a second. I drew 1 card from that Northshire Cleric. It took 1, 2, 3 cards, 4 cards even if you count the Innervate, to take it out, unless I got it wrong. So I won that exchange. I still have a deck full of resources, and he may or may not have an answer for Twilight Drake, but I don't see it yet. Still, he's at 5 mana. I'm at 4. That's what it boils down to. When you're at the lower ranks, you get some players that they just don't have the deck that you have or the experience you have. And we all got to start from somewhere. And I have no idea if they've made Hearthstone a newer player-friendlier game or not. But my guess is they have. Because I'm here on Standard, matched up with someone who's just as ranked 24 as I am. But this is a basic deck. So
A wild miscalculation.
Okay, that's cool. What do I want to do here? I could clear this and just start being the beatdown. That's probably fine.
Do you like to play with fire?
Scale worm, that's good too. Might as well heal for fun. Not a great play at all. I could have just done this even better, but he's not. If he has any threats and it's a basic jerk deck, we're looking at the big deck. So let's see what else we got. All right, where's my Shadow Word Death? Ordering on the innervate there, but maybe it's not a big deal. Mark skin. All right. We can make sure you live. That's fine. That's probably not as fine, but let's see. Like, I want to be able to get this charge damage in. Maybe we just start going face. Give him too many targets. That's probably better. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, the things I gotta learn. That's right. I just said it's rush. It's not charge. Just straight up rush, but that's okay.
Ready for action.
Yeah. This just feels like a sad crime here to take on this kind of stuff, but yeah, the thing that I guess has really surprised me in ducking out of Hearthstone for about 8 or 9 months, probably. I don't know. I was in the middle of the Frozen Throne expansion when I stopped playing. So yeah, that puts it right on.
Miscalculation.
I believe it. You're not going to win the damage race, buddy. Okay. So he's top decking, I got kind of whatever on him. Might as well throw this at him now. But yeah, you gotta grind through these games to get back up. Like I said, I'm just amazed at... I don't want to say the game's stagnant, because it's not stagnant. There's a lot of new stuff that's been introduced. There's a lot of changes that have been done. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like the same relationship I had with World of Warcraft, to be honest. And I played World of Warcraft way more than I ever played Hearthstone. But it's at the end of the day, it's still Hearthstone. No matter what you try and do, that aspect's not going to change. So at the end, it's just kind of like, yeah, well, some of the stuff to be expected. You play some games, you win, you lose. You go through some different, like, crap. And the thing that it boils down to, too, and one thing that I was hoping would change over this time, but I don't know if it ever will, is that I just don't have the time to really put in and ever get to Legend. And it's just kind of like, I get it. That's kind of a higher rung level for other people who put in all the time and effort. And they should be rewarded for that. Don't get me wrong. It's just that at the end of the day, my in-game experience getting kind of caught up at around ranked 5, which is about as high as I can get for the amount of time and games I have to put in, and probably less so now, to be honest, is that I end up facing people who are pretty much tailoring their decks towards that, okay, what will be the best thing to climb to Legend? You don't get any double star streak bonus anymore. I don't even know if that's still a thing or not. At 5 and up, I don't think it is still. But
my will is not my own.
What that means is that I don't get that fun sort of experience of, oh cool, everyone's at Legend now playing their kind of crazy weird decks, and here I am just like, okay, I can do my weird experimental stuff on ladder 2. And then you only get that for a month. Duskbreaker's probably better here. I could Mind Control. That's like a little over the top. Let's just end this game then.
Meddlesome insects.
Yeah.
Well played.
Sorry, buddy. I gotta get my stars too. So it's like, I can't blame the game for being the game, but I can sort of say, like, why do I not play World of Warcraft anymore? It just kind of ended up being the same thing, and after playing it for like 10 years, give or take some breaks here or there, it's just like, okay, I get it. We'll press our hotkeys, we'll move around, we'll get pissed off at other people in groups. It's fun. Here it's like, okay, you have your decks, you have some meta choices. I really hope this is odd or even Paladin, because that's way more interesting to face. And, oh god, we'll keep you for weapon, we'll keep you for desperation board clear. We really want some of our early stuff, because a lot of the Paladins right now are token based, and some of them are super powerful, and double Psychic Scream, not my favorite, but we'll drop Northshire Cleric down first turn, for sure. But one of the things that ends up happening with Paladin that's made them really powerful is that they have some nice token rush options now, where you can decrease the hero power by 1 as long as you have, I forget if it's odd or even cards only in your deck, but that's one of the interesting things about Witchwood. Like I said, I'm still catching up to some of this stuff, and you are taking your dear sweet time to mulligan. That's okay. So I'll probably play a few more games here, and then when the other thing pops up, because it should unlock at 1, then we can go into the other mode, which presumably I should be okay, because they hand you cards to go through the adventure. If I have to go creating my own decks, then I'll have to go creating my own decks a little bit. So, do Paladins have anything that can kill a 1/3 turn 1? If they do, it's gonna be a surprise. But, you know, that's part of the fun of Standard is surprises. Cool. Still learning all the click meta for all the things that I missed. I still miss my rocket board. Oh god, it's another basic deck. Okay, this is just gonna get brutal now. Once again, dropping a 2/2 into a 1/3. Like I said, you just kind of gotta grind through it.
I must move quickly.
And I'm getting roped, because that's a thing. Gives me more time to talk. It gives me more time to look at this clock and say, is it over yet? I don't know. I don't know. We haven't been going on. We haven't been streaming for that long yet. Greetings. So if this is just someone that's gonna rope me every turn to try and win, I'll play their game. Yeah, like Hearthstone Deck Tracker used to have the little time tracker, things like that, and it's just kind of bleh. But there is an end turn button over here. Oh, multiple taunts for multiple cats. Probably a decent coin Twilight Drake since he's basic. Okay. Now we're definitely healing, and then power word shielding. Let's do this first. Card draw! Card draw! And I won't even worry about damage. Because if I put 1 on him here, I want him to be the one to have to swing at me with the True Silver Champion. Assuming he has that, because it's a basic deck, so he probably does. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at now. Yeah, I know. Big rank 23 right here. And it's 5 stars through all these now.
Let
Ready
me think.
to ride.
This is really happening. You did that. Okay. How many cards do I got? Hands full. Can't. I'm gonna overdraw myself if I don't do this. So. Let's do you first. Alright. Now, if he heals this, he can force me to overdraw, and it won't really do a lot. But yeah, my 2 Psychic Screams, which looks like a really weird downside because it puts all of your minions in his hand too. But you got to remember, or maybe you don't know, for Control Priest, how many times you can force the situation to where you don't have worthwhile cards on your board. It's just clearing unwinnable board states. Because there are a lot of board states, especially done by more interesting Paladin decks than this, that will outright screw you if you can't sweep them out immediately. So what's happened here is that we've had one game where, how do we put it? Where I just had absolutely no chance at victory because the opponent got a bunch of stuff out early, and now we just have a bunch of basic decks. And that's something he wants to play. So, cool, good on you.
I must move quickly.
I mean, by all means, think about your plays. I do not begrudge that at all. Still at 10 cards, so we don't really got to worry about too much. Is there anything worth coining? Not really. Not right now. Guess what we could do is, how many cards do we have? 9, 8. And we can go back up to 9. Shadow Vision's pretty good. Alright, so we got board control for days. Yawn. Hey, what's nice about it? You can play it on your phone, you can play it on the go. The client on the phone is actually a little more stable than the desktop client. And I was running into all kinds of crap. Testing these like cards getting stuck, lag, going around not being able to control things. Decent move. And what you got? Divine Shield. Cool. Let's see what we can fetch. Would love a Master Spell. There we go. Master Spell still gives us a full hand. Do we burn a card? I guess we burn a card. Okay, we'll just have to hope that we don't burn something too bad. Punch face. The control play is to pick off these guys one by one, but I just kind of want this game to end. Why am I doing this to myself?
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
I'm banking on him doing the new player panic of, instead of going face with everything, he goes after this 19 health, which is exactly what he's doing. Cool. So he can take out some of these. I have bigger threats. I'm probably going to burn Alex Raza right here. But hey, he's helping me with my quests, so that's fun.
My hand is too
Oh, okay. That's just fine. Let's see here.
Is someone injured?
Okay, 4 mana to play with. What do we get? Shadow or Death doesn't really do anything. Burn a card. Might as well do this now, it's free. Master Spell again, Mind Control, not really going to do anything. I'll just Mind Blast. Get the game over with ASAP, right? Maybe. I said it's early climbing. I'd love to be able to show you all stuff that's more interesting, but as I said before, it's not that I meant not being able to get Legend. Like, I'm not entitled to it or need to have it handed to me. It's just that I don't really get the fun, experimental, like, deck experience so many other people do. I could ooze that sword, which seems like the ultimate punish for him not swinging with it. Primordial Drake's probably better, but I'm so freakishly far ahead anyway, it doesn't really matter what I do at this point. How do I want to cancel heal, whatever. See, so far ahead. Just another win. Alright. Cool, 2 wins in standard mode. Well, Hearthstone, what can you say? Sometimes your opponent just overwhelms you, sometimes you overwhelm your opponent, but it's those 10% of the games that you get that are really close, that are more fun. Probably one more game time before we go into the new Witchwood mode. So hello those of you that are here or popping in and out of the channel. Like I said, Hearthstone's something I have set down for a very long time because I got burnt out with it. And I've always enjoyed, in the 2 years that it's happened so far, the changeover to the new, new standard rotation. I'm very happy that Gadgetzan is out, because Gadgetzan had so many poisonous cards. Do we keep him? I guess so. Because I got so far behind last time. I need board clears. Anduin's actually really good here, but we'll see.
I smell blood.
Okay. Should probably get that checked out. I could drop this now, but it's totally sacrificial, but it'll probably get this off the
Is
board.
someone injured?
Or draw a Frostbolt. One mana for 1 mana, fair trade. Alright, good, we can activate this. That's what I needed 3 games ago. Was one of these.
For the crusade!
That's actually going to be a little annoying to crack. See if we get something fun here. Him, Death, Mind Blast. Probably want him. Even though there's an argument to be made since we got early Anduin that we just go total face play with the Mind Blast and stuff. But 2 cost mana. If we're going early Anduin, which seems to be the plan right now.
It's time for a little
There's another basic deck. Like I said, if the plan is early Anduin, we want to be able to reset the ping as much as possible. So being able to heal and do that is all the better. Okay. Oh, I didn't get polymorphed! I've played that on turn 4 so many times. Okay. Ooh, clever. Alright. Is it worth it to do it this way? I mean, we could have Anduin next turn, but I kind of want to clear the board now. Puts it down to 1 health. If I go ahead and play Desk Breaker, then Wild Pyromancer, Coin. Let's see here. Yeah, because I'd have to... well, it'd have to be Wild Pyromancer, Coin, Desk Breaker. Because we take all this out. Oh well. Let's do it.
Do you like to play with fire?
I do! I really do! Alright. Twilight Drake down to 1 health. Just as Ben Brode, rest his soul intended. So right now, I don't know how many 1-cost spells he has.
We have many secrets.
And probably Free Secrets Anonymous right here. And Mind Blast and Divine Hymn. None of these are great. I can't activate this because this is a dragon and they don't activate themselves. So probably just going to be a Tempo Skulking Geist.
Beware the shadow.
Gonna hurt me more than it hurts him. But hey guys, we thinned our deck and took out some card draw. That's fun. But it'll be Anduin time soon.
Truth is my shield.
Alright. I guess we might as well get this out of the way. Like, all these moves are kind of sloppy.
must consider.
Because I can take this guy out right here. I kind of don't want his board to get wider. We'll have the taunt next turn. Like I said, Anduin's are win conditions, so... No guts, no glory, I guess, right?
I wonder.
Meddlesome insects.
Ordering, very important. He has no way to heal that. He'll probably trade back into there. Or into there. Unless he has... Oh. That's your flame strike.
The light protects me.
Okay. Now, I don't expect to get much value out of Anduin, but I am a little concerned about being at 15 health versus a mage, so we'll do this first.
I dream and the world trembles.
Not a lot I can do about that. I could Psychic Scream. I mean, I just don't really want to give him this. But I don't really have many other options. I think good things happen when you play Anduin. Even though that could be a much stronger card. Alright, let's see what we get. Like, I have Alexstrasza in here somewhere. We do have one death to deal with whatever comes up. He thinks I just suddenly took away my ability to heal. Alright.
Is there trouble?
Yeah, this is a much better Psychic Scream. Actually, probably worth giving him the 4-8. Alright. Yeah, no need to worry about healing myself yet. So he might get Ysera right back. That's usually how the RNG works in this. But now I have a clear board to just pling, pling, pling all the way home. Okay, what was that? That was one of his... So he got 2 Laughing Sisters. Well, they can't be targeted by hero powers, so that's not exciting. We have practically no targets, so let's just work our pings. Okay, the one on the far left is the one we created with Shadow Visions. So 2 deaths now to deal with almost whatever. We're almost to the point where Ysera Awakens kills him. And we should be able to weave in 6 more damage here.
Is there trouble?
Wow. Drew both of those.
The light protects me.
Okay. I just don't think he's going to be able to burst me down. Alright. Well, there's a kind of useless Alexstrasza. It does more harm to me than good. We'll play it like this. We have a few cards that we can play next turn that would actually win the game, but right now we can't play anything with what's on his board. Like, this presents a decent threat, but it also gives him targets for other spells. And right now he's top decking to win it. Still not something we can use, and... So not a totally basic deck here, but there we go.
Well played.
That was a real yawn. Alright.